Hello everybody and welcome to this video. Here we are in the midst of this. Now in this video we are going to be doing a few things. We're going to be sorting out the interior a bit more, and then we're going to be sorting the clutch out, and we'll be finding out exactly what's wrong with my gearbox. Now if you're not subscribed, please make sure to do so. Of course, Project 2600R, the first step of it is actually getting it on the road, which is what we're doing now. So without further delay, let's get into the video. Also in this video, I'm going to show you the parts haul that I've started to accumulate with some really interesting stuff and some really cool plans for this Project 2600R. So you're going to want to stay until the end of the video for that, when I show you all of the parts that I've managed to start accumulating. And drop me a comment below and let me know any suggestions that you have for this project, any tips that you have, any builds of your SD1s that you've ever done, and let me know any of your SD1 memories as well. I always love to hear from you guys and hear what you've experienced with these cars, because it's all a bit of a shared experience with these things and they're absolutely fantastic. Now, without even further delay, let's get into the video. I'll probably be changing a few things around, but we've got the MX-5 of course in here. Beans, as they call him. There's a little frog. Of course that's Katie's car, Katie's project, which we've changed the hub on, and I've also sorted out all the bolts on there. That's fine, that's ready to go. Started her up earlier, sounded perfect. Of course, we've got him. Is it him? Let me know. We also have the Cortina. Now, I've done a good bit of work on this sucker today. So this is a bit of there's not enough, in a clutch change, there's just not enough to do. Master cylinder's off. Seals, I'm going to rebuild that, so that's fine. Also, I've done literally everything else. Wiring, all of that stuff. So that's brilliant. So it's really, really good that we've managed that. I'm really not sure what to do with the Cortina. It's a lovely, lovely car. I know my hair's a mess, by the way, but I'm not really that bothered. Because it's not a beauty contest. It's fixing cars. Anyway, without the cringe. I'm really not sure what to do with this. This is I think it's a 3-owner, including me, 103,000 mile Ford Cortina Mark III 1975 in Olympic blue. It's had a bit of welding. I'm just not sure really what to do with her. Now I mean, come on, you can't not love it, but I'm a Rover man at heart, but I do love all of this. And of course you can see in here I've done a lot of stuff in there. That'll be resuming soon, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, back to the Rover. Here it is, everybody, the Rover SD1. Now, the issue with this one is that it won't go into gear while the engine's running, indicating there is something sinister at play. Now, how sinister that is, we're going to find out in a moment. You'll get our reaction to that very shortly. But we've got to lower the box down. Basically, you take a mounting off, you undo all of the linkage in the interior and do some interior trim, take the loom off, and then basically it lowers down, and then you've got to take the bell housing bolts off. So this car did run and drive before. Of course it runs now, but it doesn't drive. So here's the gearbox off with the little selector arm, and we're going to have a look at what the problem is.
For like vindication, not sure.
I think I'm right. 100% think I'm correct. But let's see if I am. I'm usually right about stuff. Sometimes I'm not though. Oh, what is it?
It's a stuck clutch.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice. That means I was correct about something.
Friction plates absolutely stuck to flywheel. You'll see in a second.
That's funny as hell. Them little pins look a right bastard.
There you go, look.
It sits on. Wow. Yes, sir.
That's completely stuck to flywheel.
That's fucking awful.
So, I mean, that should literally just fall off.
Yeah.
The fact that it hasn't.
The only thing that keeps it in place, isn't it, is that.
The only thing that keeps it in place is that. But look at rust on there as well. You can see where it's been stuck to that, look. You see where it's been stuck to that?
That's when it wouldn't go in gear, yeah, it wouldn't go in gear.
That should be perfectly smooth and shiny and nice.
Well, thank God we've got a new one.
And it's not. So that's definitely knackered.
Cool.
And that is definitely stuck to your flywheel, isn't it? So.
I'm gonna record you getting it on. Wow.
So it's not too bad to get off, but
that pressure plate ain't taking that off, is it?
You know.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Nice. Off he goes. So, Phil, good mate of mine, has come to help today, in brackets, do most of the work because I'm absolutely useless at it, and it's too cold. It's actually -5. I've fixed this. I've fixed the Cortina today. I've done the master cylinder on that, so that's perfect. And Phil's been away working with this with minor assistance from me, and I say minor. So the clutch was stuck, as you can see you saw in those clips. Here she is, and you can see the pressure plate is just, it's been stuck to there, it's been stuck to there, it's just a mess. This is the new one, new release bearing, new clutch, friction plate, new pressure plate, very clean, very nice. That's how it's supposed to look. That's how that one looks. That's bad. So pretty happy with that it's not anything ridiculous. Now, we have found a leak from the gearbox on the rear of it, but to be quite honest with you, it's not that pressing at the moment. Aim is to get it on the road, and then I'll deal with that later when she's in the garage. See the little Leyland logo on there? Look how cute that is. So yeah, she's off. That flywheel is very, very, very dirty, and very, very, very well, it's just mainly rust, but she's in bits, so that's brilliant. So we're well on our way. Good thing if Phil's got a working 2600, because you know it's a good measure of how much I need to do on mine. So of course he's done that. That's perfect. Big old gap into the abyss. Sadly, 2 studs snapped off on the downpipe, which isn't particularly good, but it's not particularly bad either because we're going to replace that. And yeah, it's a pretty... I read up on the process, sort of teed myself up for doing it. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Especially not when it's this cold and I need it done. So Phil kindly offered to help me. Kindly offered to help, so why not take him up on the offer? And he knows more about SD1s than I do, which is brilliant. So we've got very far, so that's ace. So now it's a case of putting it all back together and then seeing if she moves forward and backwards and side to side. Obviously with the steering, not like on the drive. So yeah, that's perfect. With this car, I just thought I'd go through a few things as well. So it's just a bit of a list of things we've done. We've got it running, carbs and all that set up correctly, brakes all work, clutch, master and everything, that's all sorted, replaced. Interior's done, welding's done at the back, doesn't leak anymore, wipers work, washers work, all electrics work now inside, cooling system now works because that wasn't before, it's clogged. What else have we fixed? Back brakes aren't binding anymore, and that's it. All the lights work, horns work, so that's all that we've fixed. So this is the last thing really, and then we've got to get some tyres. If you can recommend me any tyres, let me know, because I hate these things. Now I might borrow some from somebody, you know, for when I take her for a MOT. Just to get her on the road, and then obviously slap her back here until I get some proper tyres on these. But yeah, I mean, I've got all 4 Vitesse wheels and on this 2600 standard alloy, so that's fine. Inside though is just a completely different animal to what she was before. I mean, before it was just so disgusting, but now it's a proper car again, and I'm really happy with that. So without further waffling, let's get into what we need to do. Here it is, the moment of truth. We've got to drop the back of the car back down, and then we should be good to go. Of course, with the prop shaft reattached to the gearbox, we should be able to drive forward and backwards, which is what we want to do. So without further delay, I'll show you the results. Now that that's sorted, we can move on to another few jobs. One of the main jobs though for the interior is getting these doors back together, basically greasing all of these mechanisms, making sure everything works before we stick the panels back on. These usually come with like a nice little bit of plastic that sort of stops the wind noise and makes sure no moisture gets in the car, but I've decided to take them off and replace them with some waterproof sound deadening, which will make the doors thunk really nicely and will complete off that sort of luxury feeling that I'm going for. Again, this car's job, the 2600R, is not to be a balls to the wall race car for the road. It's to be sort of a 2600 that they kind of should have made, and make it so it's not being strangled. Now, not to say that these things aren't great as they are, because they are absolutely fantastic when treated right, but I've always wanted to make a really decently fast one. Now that is fine. It's a bit juddery, but it'll be fine. So that's that door done. Same thing for all of them really, I'll be doing. But I've added extra sound deadening to it. I'm just going to clean that up, but listen to this. Oh, maybe if he actually shuts it properly. Proper. Nothing rattles, nothing moves. You need to flex that back in and then we should be done. But listen to this. And it all works. Everything's all together. So that's perfect. But that's got a lot more sound deadening in it. So that's brilliant. And a few things as well to stop the wind noise. So that's fantastic. Listen to that. And it's not coming off. Let's move on to the next bit. Now that that side's done, it's time to do the opposite side. So this one was a bit of a pain in the neck, and I mean a pain in the neck. The window decided to not go down, and the door card is just floppy as all heck. So I'm going to reinforce this door card or buy another door card, whichever really. To be honest with you, I'd rather keep with what I've got because I'm not the sort of dude that sort of throws things away. I prefer to keep things and, you know, kind of repurpose them if I can. But there's not really much repurposing I could do on a door card that wouldn't get me into trouble with my partner who shares the house with me. So, you know, I've got to reuse it and make it steady again. So I'm going to make it stiffer by putting some fiberglass sheeting on the back, and then it should be fine. The door cards, though, they do sit quite nicely when they are on the doors. They're not that bad, to be fair. It just looks incredibly floppy because of the little fibrous material on the back. Always gets really soggy, especially when it's not on the car. But it was an absolute pain in the neck doing this. I had to basically push the switch and then pull the actual window up. So it was a pain in the neck. But after a lot of persuasion, it then came good. And of course, you'll see in the next clip that that's all sorted. Now, we're going to move on in a sec to another section, one that you guys are probably going to be the most interested in, which is directly in relation to Project 2600R. Of course, this is the base car that we're sorting out. Once this is back on the road, then we can move on to actually making it what it needs to be. But we've bought loads of parts, and I mean loads of parts, and I'll give you a tour at the end of the video, and you're going to want to stick around for that, because there is some real cool stuff in this little parts haul that I've got. You know, I spent ages on that to get that to work, and all it took was one door slam to get it to work, and a good punch on the outside door, good few bangs, and it's finally gone back up. So it works now. I ain't testing it again, but I know it works. So now we're going to put our sound deadening on. We'll clean this up first actually, put the sound deadening on and then install it like this door. But I mean, this door's glorious, so nice. So yeah, we need to do that. I'll stick something in here to sort of set that back overnight. That'll bend that in because these are obviously a bit funny, but the sound from inside the car is amazing. Good door. So let's get to putting this one together. That's another one done. Listen to this. Proper stuff. It used to sound like tin before. Proper. That's how it works. These will, all the flexed bits, will when it dries a little bit, they'll go back to normal. But for now, we're kind of stuck with it as it is. Now, I've got to do this front one here. That's my last one. This one here, I'm leaving that because the handle's broke and I need to get some new relays for it because I've had to pinch one. But we'll just finish this last one and then we should be good to go. This one should be fairly easy. And then we've got more or less all of this back together now. I mean, listen to that. Nice thud. Cool. Right, so let's get on with the rest of it. Another one done with sound deadening. That's nice. The thing is, it slightly catches there because I think it's starting to come to pieces, so I might have to set this one back off again, sort that out. But for now, that's nice. So we've done that one, and we've done them properly. Greased all the mechanisms, made sure everything works, re-sound deadened them all, and now they're all just fantastic. All the clips are intact, all the clips are on. This one just needs doing. I need a new, I'll replace this as well. Look how smoothly they go up and down. Oh, well, I've broken another one now, that's great. So now I'm gonna have to buy another one of these. Bloody hell. Oh well, here's what it is, isn't it? But yeah, look at how smoothly that one goes up and down. And how broken that one is. Hello everybody, and welcome to the part of the video where I show you what I've bought again. So you join me in the spare room. Reason why it's not in the garage is because she doesn't know. No, I'm joking. But the reason why it's not in the garage, I'm too scared to put it in the garage, I've got to be honest with you. Too expensive and too critical to what I'm doing. So what we've done is we bought loads of more bits for the car to solve the various problems out. So I'm going to get these and show you them now, and hopefully you guys can give me some input on what other pieces of equipment, pieces of car to finish mine off. Now these are all, I'm sort of stockpiling them, and then when I've finished getting it on the road and it's on the road, I've enjoyed it for like a week, I'll then put it back away. The Cortina won't be here, at least at the house for now, for them, sorry. So then the car will go in the garage and we can really start cracking on with putting it together. If anybody knows anybody in terms of paint, let me know. I'm really interested to have somebody that's done this sort of stuff before. I'm looking for the world. I just want a white car. I'll paint the engine bay myself and the door shuts. I'm not that bothered. But if you know anybody, let me know. Get in contact. We've got Instagram linked in the description. But without further delay, let's get on to what I need to show you. If you're not already familiar or you're new here, this is the backbone of the setup. This is the 3 Webers on a custom inlet manifold. Yeah, what more could I say really? These will be sick, they'll sound amazing, it'll go amazing as well. The car that these were on, it ran apparently 190 to 230 brake horsepower, so that'd be pretty good. Again, on a road car, they're not exactly the best, but come on, it's going to sound absolutely stupidly good. If anybody has any recommendations for in terms of fueling, so i.e. what fuel pressure regulator do you think I should get? Should I get an extra, another fuel pump? Let me know, because I think I might need one, but let's see, because I'd rather not starve them either. But yeah, let me know if you recommend any fuel pumps or anybody's got any that they want to sell. I'm interested. I also need to get some more of this braided fuel hose action. Again, this is probably about, I don't know how much this would have cost to build, like probably $2 grand minimum. A lot of money to make this. And I'm very, very happy that I managed to get hold of it. So this is the backbone of it. Of course, we've got our tubular exhaust manifold. I'll be getting I've got the downpipe as well, thanks to Ken, legend in Rovers and old British cars. Ken Clark Racing, what a legend. Ken Clark Motorsport. So that's the exhaust manifold, and I'll be getting an exhaust for that. Again, any recommendations, let me know, because I'm not 100% on where to get the best one from. I'd rather not go for that one on Rimmers, to be honest with you. I'd rather get something less silencers. So then we move on to this stuff, which is sort of the stuff that you haven't seen, and then there's another thing you haven't seen over there, which we'll get onto in a minute. Cooling, Davies Craig water pump 150, and a digital controller. So this will do the fans, do the water pump, do everything. So that's nice. I need a loom for that and some sensors, so if anybody has any sensors or probes or anything they want to sell me, any spare line around or anything, let me know. Other than that, I'll probably just buy a new loom and the probes for myself. Now, brand new of course. We've also got an off-block oil filter and a small oil cooler. So this is all off of a race car, so yeah, pretty interesting stuff. All of this stuff has all been married before, so this is sort of why I'm sort of going for it, each part of it myself. So got that oil. Again, we're gonna have to do something with the head because there's a oil starvation issue with that little oil restrictor that goes, you know, up and down the block. Basically, this little restrictor can pop down and clog, and then you lose all your oil flow to your head, and then your head blows up. So that's interesting. So there's that. So we're gonna have to do something in terms of like a little rail to the head. And one of the guys in the 2600 2300 Facebook group sent me a really interesting thing, which I'm going to show here. I think that's fantastic, and if anybody knows anybody that can help me build something like that, let me know, because that is something I really want to get done. Now, moving away from all this, so you've got your cooling sorted, but you may be thinking, what about the rest of the cooling? Massive radiator time. That's right, so I've got two wonderful Comex fans, so they're going to be sick. They'll of course go into that, two electric fans. This radiator is massive. I mean, finger for length. That is humongous. It's about twice the size of the original one, and it is amazing. From the same car again. So this is a full alloy radiator. I mean, what more can I say? It's bloody huge. It's going to cool things very well, of course, as you can imagine. This is also going to be fitted to the car, so it's really shaping up quite well. We've got a lot of things, but we still need some more stuff. So I'll quickly switch back to me and I'll tell you what we need. Ideally, the next steps, of course, brakes. We need to stop good. So not sure, might get the standard, I think it's the 4 pots from the Vitesse. There's some Jaguar ones that fit as well, or I might go somewhere else for them. But just let me know what your opinion on that is. New brake lines, of course, because the old ones are okay, they're not the best. Get some new brake lines on it, and also some new brake hoses, probably the Goodrich ones, probably the best option, to be quite frank with you. So get those. Then we've got suspension-wise, we need some, ideally we're going to drop it by 30mm to the standard Vitesse ride height. Reason why, not too much, not too little, is pretty streamlined, looks pretty nice. Other bits I need, front Vitesse spoiler, so that's the big air dam. So if anybody's got one of them that they'd be willing to part with, want to sell me, let me know. I've knocked over my big box of cables over there, so this is a bit of a workshop. It's a bit of a computer workshop as well as a studio. So need those, and I also need, well, in fact, no, I don't. So another thing in this video that isn't here, because it would look silly if it was in the house and I haven't picked it up yet, is I've got a rebuilt rear axle with a limited slip differential in. That's going to be sick. So that completes it really. And yeah, so that's another thing that I've got to pick up. I'm very tired because I've driven 3 hours today, and I've not had anything to eat yet. So I'll get something to eat soon. Don't worry. Yeah, so I've bought that, which is going to be amazing. The other thing that as well that I need to get my hands on is probably some trim bits for the interior as well. And I've also contacted, I think it's Sprint Engines. They know they know their stuff. They're going to do the head for me. So I've got a head that I'm going to send down to them, and then they'll sort that out. So that is perfect. If anybody has any recommendations on anything I'm doing, anybody has any stories of their 2600 SD1s or anything they've done with their Rover SD1s, let me know in the comments below. But without waffling on, that is the end of this video. So we've got an interesting array of stuff coming up. So without carrying on, and I really need to get something to eat. Thank you for watching. Keep watching. Remember to subscribe for more of this, and I will see you in the next one.